Hello and welcome back to another video. And this video we're gonna learn how to create this gold coin. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is go ahead and create a layer and call it stroke. This is where we're gonna go ahead and do our strokes in. And after that you want to hit M on your keyboard to select your circle tool. And then you want to go ahead and drag it out. So if you want a perfect circle, just go ahead and hold shift and it'll create a perfect circle for you like that. Okay, so once you have that down, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our fill color and add an 10-point stroke to this guy. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and make them a little bit bigger. And now go ahead and put them in the middle of your page. And then after that, what you're gonna want to do is just hit Control J on your keyboard. So hold Control and hit J, and that'll duplicate your circle. And you just want to shrink it down. So just go ahead, and in order to shrink it down from the middle or towards the middle, you want to hold Control Shift and Alt on your keyboard at the same time and just drag down, and that'll drag down right towards the middle like that. And then we're just gonna go ahead and make this inner stroke a little bit smaller, so we're gonna go ahead and create it 8 points instead. And then now what we're gonna do is go up to the top part of your toolbar up here and hit Convert to Curves. Okay, so once you got that done, what it's going to do is you're going to go ahead and create this into an editable node object. So you're going to be able to edit the nodes on this guy now. And so once you see that, you're going to hit A on your keyboard to see the nodes. Go ahead and go to the bottom right, and then you can go ahead and click on one part of the line and then click on another. And then you can go ahead and put another point in between those 2 points you just created. And now what we're going to do is select that point between the first 2 points that you created, and we're going to go ahead and go up here to the action toolbar, and we're going to just hit break curve. And now what that's going to do is just going to allow us to, it's going to break the curve at that point, and now it's going to allow us to delete this point without deleting the whole thing. So just select that point and hit delete, and now you can see it's a broken circle. And just get rid of these guys too as well. And now you have this nice little open space in your line. So after that, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and go to your pressure properties, and under your stroke panel here on the right hand side, and just create a node in the middle of this graph right here, and just drag these guys down like this. And then now just going to go ahead and thin out our stroke, and it's going to make these ends thinner. Okay, and so once we got that done, we're going to go ahead and just copy this whole thing. So just hit Control J to copy your whole layer, and then rename your new layer color. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the coloring. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and delete your inner stroke circle. We don't need that. And then we're gonna go ahead, and after that we're gonna go ahead and select our circle, our outer circle that we have, and then go ahead and get rid of the stroke color, and then go ahead and add the color for your actual coin. So we're just gonna go ahead and make it this gold. Use nice yellow gold color. So just mess with that until you get a nice gold color. Okay, now that we have this nice gold color, we're gonna go ahead and Control J on your keyboard to duplicate that color circle that you have now. And then you can go ahead and shrink it down by holding Control Shift and Alt at the same time again, and just shrink it down towards the middle until it's right there until it's the same size as your stroke. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and just make it a little bit darker. Okay, so you can go ahead and make it like a really dark color of itself, and then we're just gonna go ahead and lower the opacity a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and put about 15% opacity. Okay, and now to just give it a darker center. That way it looks a little bit more like it gives it more 3D look by giving it that darker center. Okay, now that we have that done, we're gonna go ahead and just hit T on the keyboard, because now we're gonna go ahead and add that $sign, and you can add whatever sign you need to add or you want to add. So we're gonna go ahead and create that. And then just, create your $sign. And then the font we're going to use is Gabriella. Okay. And then once you got that done, we're going to go ahead and increase the size of this guy. And then we're just going to go ahead and center it. So just go ahead and center it. Now it's in the center of your circle. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and change the color of this $sign. So what we're going to do is go back to your, go ahead and select your $sign. And then we're just going to go ahead and color it. We're going to turn it into, we're going to select the same dark yellow color they have, but then what we're going to do after that is just make it a little bit darker. Okay, just like that, just a little bit darker, not super dark. And then now it's part of the gold coin. And now how we're going to make it look more part of like the gold coin is we're going to go ahead and select it on your layers panel, select that layer of your $sign, and then go to FX, and then we're going to go ahead and select 3D. We're going to go ahead and give it a 3D option. And now for this 3D option, I'm just going to go ahead and do 50% opacity. and we're gonna leave it at 5 point. And then after you're done with 3D, we're gonna go ahead and check mark bevel and emboss, and then again 50%. And then what that would do is just 3D is just gonna make it look more 3D, and then bevel and emboss is gonna go ahead and make it look like it's imprinted in the actual coin. Okay, so once you got that done, we're gonna go ahead and go back to your layers panel, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and start making our details of our gold coin. So now what we're gonna do is just create a new layer, and then we're gonna call this shadows. And once you have that done, we're gonna go ahead and create some shadows on the gold coin. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and select our color ellipse, our gold color circle, and then copy it and paste it into your shadow layer. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and duplicate your main gold color circle, and then we're gonna go ahead and shrink it down until it's the size of the inside piece. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is go ahead and hit Ctrl J to duplicate that selection. Alright, so deselect and then hit Ctrl J, and then you're gonna drag it down a little bit like that, so we have a nice little small section like that. And now select both of your circles that you just created, and then go up here and hit subtract. And now as you can see, you got this nice little crescent shape right there. And what we're gonna do is just go ahead and darken it up really dark, okay, and lower the opacity to about 50% opacity. It gives the coin some depth, okay. And so now after that, what we're gonna do is go ahead and create another shadow just on this part of the coin right here as well. So we're gonna go ahead and just grab that curve that we created and duplicate it, and then we're gonna go ahead and rotate it. So go up here and hit rotate clockwise 2 times, and then it'll give you a nice little, it'll rotate it nicely for you, and then you just adjust it to where you want it. So we want it on this part of the coin, and then once we have it here, we're gonna go ahead and lower the opacity even more. So we're just gonna go ahead and do about maybe 15% opacity. And then once we have that, we're gonna go ahead and create our highlights of our coin. And so now what you're gonna want to do after this is go ahead and create a new layer above your shadow layer, and we're going to type, and we're gonna name it highlights. All right, so okay, and now that we have that layer created, we're gonna go ahead and hit P on our keyboard for our pen tool. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and just click on this part right here of your coin, and then click on another part of it right here, and then just drag out your pen like this. So it's gonna make a nice little curve. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and turn that stroke into a white stroke, okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and just use the same stroke properties for that highlight of our coin. We're just gonna go and make the ends a little bit smaller, and we're gonna go ahead and give this a 10-point stroke instead of 8-point stroke, okay. And then once we have that, you just want to adjust it slightly, and then you can go ahead and lower the opacity a little bit, okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do now is create another highlight here on the bottom, and then it's the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and just P on your keyboard, and then just make another curve like so. Just drag it out, and then we're going to go ahead and higher the opacity on this guy so it's more noticeable of a highlight, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and just create one more highlight right here, a small one. So again, hit P on your keyboard, highlight, and then just go ahead and lower the opacity a little bit on this guy. Okay, once we have that done, now we're gonna go ahead and go back to our strokes, and we're gonna go ahead and change the color of our strokes. And by doing that, we're gonna go ahead and make it that same gold color, but we're gonna go ahead and just select our color of our gold coin, and then we're just gonna make it a really darker version of it, so it's like almost black but not necessarily black. And now it just makes the coin look all a little bit more cohesive. It makes it all look more like one. And yeah, that's how you create a gold coin, just like that. It's super simple, super easy, and it looks really nice. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.